Hello and welcome to A Word of Hope for Friday of the third week of Easter. I'm Father Scott and I'm in New Mexico because today's reading is about the road to Damascus. And I think maybe it looked something like this road, And this bright light. Paul gets knocked off of his horse. Well, it doesn't say he got knocked off of his horse, but Caravaggio did a wonderful rendition of it. But he got knocked to the ground and there's this voice. Saul, Saul, why are you persecuting me? It was Jesus. And he blinds him. And he's taken into Damascus. In 3 days he fasts. And then God talks to Ananias, a faithful person, a Christian in Damascus, following the way. And he tells Ananias, go find this man Saul and heal him and bring him into the fold. Oh, well, no, Saul is going around locking up people of the way. Saul is the enemy of the Christians. He's the righteous Pharisee. And God says, he's the one I chose. Go and do it. So Ananias goes and does it. Heals him. And Saul becomes Paul. He's converted. He becomes a Christian. And we know what happens from there. So when I think about this story, I think about the fact that Saul had to be knocked to the ground with this bright light all around him for him to listen to God. Because he was on his self-righteous way persecuting anyone who'd follow the way. And he did a lot of damage along the way. Eventually, God had enough. Ananias, on the other hand, God just has to speak to him because he's listening to God. And God's telling him to do something very dangerous. Go to Saul? No. Yes. Okay. Eventually, God will make known what he wants us to do. Can he just speak to us? Or does he have to knock us to the ground? Because if he has to knock us to the ground before we listen, we'll probably do a lot of damage along the way, like Saul did. Better, I think, if we can just open our ears and listen to what God wants for us. What needs to change, Lord? Tell me.